my husband is old. Please don't get my hopes up. See, because she dwelled among her own people. But yet her own people couldn't meet this need. And so she gave up on her dream. She gave up on her hope because man couldn't meet it. How many dreams have we given up on because mama couldn't keep the promise? Or daddy couldn't come through for us? But I think I ought to let you know that there is a name that you can call on that can meet every need, no matter the time or the day, the situation or the circumstance. See, but with her, she ran to what she became dependent on. You run to what you become dependent on. If you get in trouble, the thing you're going to run to is the thing you're dependent on. So if your family is your answer, you're going to run to that family. But what you're going to do when they can't meet the need? If the money is your answer, when you get in trouble, you're going to run to it. What you're going to do when there's no more money in the bank? What you're going to do when you don't have the money to pay the bills? What are you going to run to now? So we need something more than just our friends and our family. So she's weary of this, but just like Elisha said, the next year she was embraced with a son. Then it says, picks up in 18. And when the child was grown, years have went by. And he decided to go out with his father to the reapers. Everything's good now. She got a son. They got a good harvest. They get ready to go out there and reap the harvest that God has given them. But while they're out there collecting the harvest, the son cries out, my head, my head. It's believed that he is suffering from a sunstroke. And so the father goes and tells one of the servants to take the son to his mother. Because the father recognizes, I'm good in this area, but I'm not good in that. So take him to someone who can meet his need. Somebody's going to get that. So if you don't mind, can I allow my mind's eye to run wild just for a minute? So I see this young boy out with his father screaming, my head, my head. And so the father tells the servant to grab the son and take him to the mother. And I can see the mother looking out in the distance, seeing commotion going on because she sees her son being carried in her arms on one of the servants. And she begins to get a little anxious. And so when the servant meets the mother, he tells the mother what's going on. And I can hear her say, give me my boy. And she takes the son and places him on her knees. And I can see her telling her son everything is going to be all right. And I can see the son resting his head in the bosom of his mother's chest. And she feels the breath of her son dance across her neck. The son begins to hear her heartbeat as it soothes his troubled mind. And I can hear her begin to rock her son, and she may even hum the little tune. But then the Bible said that at the noonday hour, at the highest point in the sky, he died. In verse 18, he said, when his son was grown. That means was when he was of age. What do you do when your promise, your dreams, your goal has manifested itself and is at its highest point just to die? What do you do? What do you do when God has promised you that thing and God has never lost the case? God has never lost the battle, but yet it seems in your life when things come to you, it dies. What do you do? What do you do when you say, I want to do things right this time? We're going to get married the right way. And you got to a saved spouse and you stood before the preacher to get married, but then years later you find yourself in front of the judge for a divorce. What do you do? What do you do when you go to school for a long time to get those degrees, make it big in your company, just keep going higher and higher, and you get a paycheck after paycheck just to find a pink slip on your desk? What do you do? When you have children in your life and you raise them in the way they should go, but when in the part they don't thank you, they forsake you, they turn their back on you, they try to cuss you out, they backbite you. What do you do when you've done all that you can? You pray and you cry, you pray and you cry, and yet it seems like your prayer falls on deaf ears. What do you do? Look at what the woman does. She doesn't cry. She doesn't even say a mumbling word. She simply sets her son down, closes the door behind her, and went out looking for this man of God. Because she wasn't looking for a burial, she was looking for a resurrection. For I heard Jesus say, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he be dead, yet shall he live. Because she made up in her mind that she will not be defeated. She made up in her mind that this fact will not be her reality. Your fact does not have to be your reality. Yes, it's a fact that you lost some things, but reality is that God can restore all things. It's a fact that the doctor said no, but reality is God can still say yes. I'm not going to let this fact be my reality. That being said, she knew that this thing could still be turned around. I know my son has died, but this thing can still be turned around. I know I don't have money to pay the bills right now, but this thing can still be turned around. I heard the report of the doctor, but this thing can still be turned around. I know my marriage is falling apart, but this thing can still be turned around. I know my kids are acting up, but this thing can still be turned around. As long as a name I can call on, this situation can still be turned around. Well, how do you know this, preacher? I'm glad you asked. I know this because Jesus said, if you ask, it shall be given. If you seek, it shall be found. If you knock, it shall be opened unto you. That being said, this thing can still be turned around. But then I got to wondering, why she closed the door and then started walking to the man of God? Because you think she would have took her son with her to go find the man of God. But there's a valuable lesson in that. Hear me when I say this. Don't bring your problem to Jesus. Bring Jesus to the problem.